Hello everybody, welcome to my 9-year anniversary special. Oh boy, I say it every year, but where does the time go, eh? Oh, it's scary. But like most years, I do try and do something a little bit special for these anniversary videos. Okay, so sometimes I run out of time or I don't have any ideas, but this year's a little bit different. We've entered into a new decade, the 2020s. And even though I haven't quite reached a decade myself here on YouTube, I think it's a good time to look back over the past 10 years. 9 years, and pick out some highlights. So with that said, I present to you a brand new, highly prestigious award. You've seen the Oscars, you're bored of the Golden Globes. Who needs the Razzies when you've got the Muckies? Yes, that's right. The Muckies is a look back over my history creating YouTube content. So join me as I dish out 20 awards and take a trip down memory lane. Okay, let's not waste any time and get on with the first award. First up is Collaboration of the Decade. Strength in numbers, they say, and over the years I've been lucky enough to collaborate with quite a few other YouTubers. So for this award, I could have picked The Merry Gamer and our Kingdom of the Sky series. I could have picked Honest Tom 23, not only for our multiple playthroughs together, but also a podcast. Or I could have even picked Nakarada and our Portal 2 puzzles, because all of them, they were all great fun to do. And, well, I kind of did still pick Nakarada, because the winner goes to Him, Muck and I. Him, Muck and I is me, Nakarada and Joda from the JFS, and I picked it quite selfishly because it's not really to do with what we played together or how the videos turned out, but really because I always looked forward to playing with those two, excited to record our silly moments together. The videos could be complete pants and I wouldn't care. Sitting down to record for a few hours with them was a blast and something I look forward to more of in the future. Big thank you to Nakarada and Joda. Next up is Pro Move of the Decade. I am not a pro gamer. I am not even a good gamer. I think we can all be clear on that. But if there's one game I've played enough to be pretty okay at, and therefore the winner of Pro Move of the Decade, it's The Simpsons Hit and Run. Yes, you know, the game where everyone bemoans that pesky final mission and says, I just couldn't beat it as a kid. Or in NerdCube's case, an adult. Well, move out of the way, plebs, because during a livestream I completed it first time. And this was after having not played the game in a fair while. You know, there's not much to it. Precision driving, knowledge of shortcuts, and intense concentration. Huh, maybe I should turn it into an esports. Unfortunately, not all of my content can please the masses, whether it be my constant babbling or poor gameplay, and so the next award is the most disliked video of the decade. And the winner goes to my video on The Simpsons Wrestling. Yep, it's up there as the most disliked by ratio. Fortunately, most people are nice and like my stuff, so my worst is actually only 22.1% disliked. 250 thumbs up to 71 thumbs down. Quite why that's the case, who knows. Maybe they loathed the game as much as I did, or maybe I was just terrible at the game, but whatever, you try avoid Bumblebee Man's stupid chihuahua. Next up is Criminal Crab Kill of the Decade. A contentious category for sure, but the winner has to go to Stranded Deep and its bean thieving crustacean. During a livestream of the game, it was whacked good and proper, making it by far the most deserving of this award. Well done to Stranded Deep. Look at that little crab, that crab's trying to steal my beans! Don't you steal my beans, little crab. You thief! Get away. Dead thief now. Watch out for pesky crab burglars in your area. The next award is the Oh yeah, I Let's Played that game, of the decade. Over 9 years, I've managed to Let's Play a fair number of games. So many that sometimes I lose track of them all. There's ones I have fond memories of, like Jak and Daxter, Destroy All Humans, and The Dig. Then there's ones I barely remember at all. Star Wars The Force Unleashed is up there as one, but the winner has to go to Red Faction Guerrilla. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun game with its destruction physics, but I could not tell you a thing about its plot, its characters, or even what I spoke about during the Let's Play. What that means is, when I'm scrolling through my playlists and that pops up, I'm just left thinking, oh yeah, I Let's Played that. Let's see, it was set on Mars, I remember that. Ugh. Next up is Best April Fools of the Decade. Listen, I love a good April Fool's video, and though I've missed some, I try to do one every year. It's always fun trying to come up with a stupid idea, even if it's not very good at actually tricking people. For example, I doubt many believed I'd actually Let's Play a horse game following my 40-minute demonstration of them back in 2014. Or that last year I'd finally do a face reveal in a Fortnite video of all things. That being said, I've managed to make a couple that probably fooled some, such as my Big Willy Unleashed episode featuring a phony rage quit. But the creme de la creme, the winner of this award, has to be my FIFA 09 Be a Pro video, where I've managed to rack up 60,000 views talking about a subject I know absolutely nothing about. Seriously, I don't know why it's got so many views, but my gameplay as footballer Joe Muckers Muckluck seems to have gone down well. Just don't expect episode 2 anytime soon. The next award is Cancelled Let's Play of the Decade. I'll be honest, it's unlike me to cancel projects for YouTube. Usually I like to see things through to the bitter end, but the winner of this award is just one of those exceptions, and that is Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. I actually enjoyed this game quite a lot and appreciated its visuals, its gameplay and its puzzles as I was preparing for the Let's Play. Unfortunately, when push came to shove, its lack of voice acting and its sheer length to complete just made it very LP unfriendly. Despite that, I was still really pleased with how the episodes turned out, and they're still floating about on YouTube unlisted, so if you ever fancy watching the first 8 episodes of the game, there'll be a link down below. Next is Weirdest Unlisted Video of the Decade. If you were to go through my catalogue of almost 2,000 videos, you'd see a fair number of them unlisted or private. From 1-minute livestream announcements that I privatise afterwards, to little video tests for upcoming Let's Plays, they're usually fairly mundane. I save all the weird stuff like this, or this, to actually go public. Despite that, there are a couple of private or unlisted videos tucked away that are really quite random. For example, this video, simply entitled B-Dubs from 2013, came in a close second.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, right! Oh, son of a... son of a bitch! Oh, my gosh! What was it? Yeah.
But yes, the winner of this award goes to Tonight's the Night, Nebris version, which I made back in 2014 for the Mindcrack subreddit community. It's got something to do with Nebris and UHC and golden apples and all that jazz, but considering I lost interest in Mindcrack many years ago and don't really watch anything to do with them anymore, I look back on this video and just think, what?
Are you ready for a miracle?
The next award is Longest Series of the Decade. Related to my earlier comments, I am no pro gamer, which usually means my Let's Plays aren't done in the quickest, most efficient fashion. The Curse of Monkey Island, for example, was 29 parts long and lasted from October 2015 all the way to July 2016. Escape from Monkey Island was 31 parts long and lasted from June 2017 to January 2018. and my replay of Destroy Humans 2 was 52 parts long and lasted from June 2017 until March 2018. Okay, so you get the point. I'm no speedrunner. But I'm giving this award to something a bit different. The winner of the longest series of the decade goes to my Halo 3 campaign playthrough, which wasn't really a proper Let's Play at all. It was something I live streamed and just shoved on YouTube afterwards. Nonetheless, if you look at it as one complete series, I uploaded the first part in September 2015 and the final part in June 2018, clocking in at a whopping 2 years and 10 months. And yes, I know you could probably count the Bond review series as being the longest since it's technically still unfinished from 2015, but shh, we don't mention that. A big category next, it's Game of the Decade, which in this case doesn't necessarily mean a game that has come out this decade. Instead, it's what game has meant the most to me in my time creating content, and there were many contenders for sure. Destroy Humans is probably the main reason anyone knows who I am on YouTube, and for that I owe it a lot. The same could be said of the Simpsons game or even Timesplitters 2. But Game of the Decade for me has to be, without a doubt, Minecraft. Yeah, shocking I know, but Minecraft has most definitely been my most played game over the past 9 years. I've sank thousands of hours into mod packs like Feed the Beast, adventure maps with him, Muck and I, and of course the hundreds of episodes on the JFS server. I think the best way I can sum up what Minecraft means to me is to repeat an extract from a soppy little note I wrote to Mixon for his game show Task Crafter back in May last year. I was explaining why Minecraft's humble grass block is so impressive to me, and said the following. Since October 2010 when I first downloaded Alpha, and the thousands of hours since then, the grass block represents so much to me. It represents that sense of discovery, of wonder and fear of the unknown on that fateful first night. The frustration of death, of loss, learning and starting all over again. The creativity of design and construction, and well-earned sense of pride that follows. To the typical player, it might stop there, but for people like you and me, it means so much more. That block was the gateway into something special, something I never really thought was possible. It represents countless hours of crying with laughter, of collaboration and teamwork, of spats and drama, real or fake. It represents a true sense of community, and most importantly, friendship. That block and everything it entails allowed us to not only connect with people all across the world, but also to chat, to joke, to laugh and to learn together. From a group project online to a group meet-up in real life, I can safely say that block has given me a fantastic bunch of friends, and for that I count myself extremely lucky. So yes, that block in itself is nothing special, but that block is also a symbol of something that's been a huge part of my life the past 8 years, and I hope for many more to come. And that right there is why Minecraft is my game of the decade. Next up is Quote of the Decade. I've said lots of stupid, weird or funny stuff over the years. There's no lack of commentary from me on all sorts of subjects, so to go through countless hours of footage and try and find Quote of the Decade is almost an impossible task. A few years ago, Lemons from the JFS created a Muckluck soundboard, which partially helped in thinking of contenders. Don't get me wrong, I think some of the sound bites are great, but they might need a bit of context, which I've since forgotten. For example,
corned beef is in a can, that's nice. I'd rather see a young penis than an old penis.
Baby. That's nice. Instead, the quote of the decade goes to... Don't ping pong him! A line I said during a cave-in adventure with the biggest killer on the JFS. It's a moment that always makes me laugh watching it back, and perfectly illustrates the stupid things we get up to on the server. Okay, no Enderman about? Good. Oh god, there's a creeper though. No! Don't ping pong him!
so sorry, Mike.
Oh, I'm not walking back again. The next award is the biggest time sink of the decade. Sometimes I get ambitious ideas for videos that take far too long and are most likely unachievable, and usually I realise that and don't bother. The winner of this award was different, and it goes to episode 100 of the JFS, Jaisano Scatzi. For what I considered quite a landmark, I wanted to do something strange for episode 100, and for some reason I picked doing a Minecraft parody of the 1982 experimental film Jaisano Scatzi. You might recognise it from its music by Philip Glass, or the fact it's made up of mostly time-lapse and slow-mo footage. No dialogue. Quite why I wanted to do this, I can't remember, but boy did it take a long time to make. As well as actually watching the film to get an idea of the shots I'd need, I then had to translate them into something similar found on the JFS Season 3 map. Shots of water? Easy. Clouds? Easy. Huge crowds of people on the street? Not so easy. Added to that difficulty was the fact I had to record some shots at high frame rates, like 120 FPS or more, in order to get smooth slow-mo footage. Colour grading, timing to the music. Eventually I had to bulk it up with clip montages too. Eesh, yeah, it probably wasn't worth the effort nor the time I put into it. And any day now I expect it to be taken down from YouTube due to copyright. Oh well. The next award is Person of the Decade. Yeah, I know it's usually Person of the Year and it's given to someone like Obama or Greta Thunberg, but this award is a bit different. My own Person of the Decade goes to Pam Pamerson. Yes indeed, from her humble beginnings in a Sims busting out livestream to her hopeless quest for love in The Sims 3, Pam Pamerson has been an integral part of the channel. Like a phoenix, Pam has lived on throughout the past 9 years, resurrecting from the ashes of her previous self. She's gone on to star in Hollywood blockbuster after Hollywood blockbuster, and something tells me we haven't quite seen the last of her yet. Congratulations to Pam Pamerson for being the Muckies Person of the Decade. Next up is Most Concerning Moment of the Decade. I can be a bit of a weirdo, you know, it's true, and every now and then that shows itself in the content that I make and share. Morge is pretty weird, right? And so was that Trump video I made a few years ago. But most concerning of all, however, has to be the winner of this category, which goes to the Simpsons Advent series I created in 2016. What started out as a legitimate interest in making some little Simpsons cartoons soon ended up becoming a nightmare. When I discovered the Simpsons cartoon studio game from 1996 and played around with its limited though versatile features, how was I meant to know they'd eventually turn into horror stories featuring a murderous Ned Flanders and his killer lawnmower, or Maggie spitting blood at her father's corpse? Yeah, it got a bit disturbing. You know, I still haven't been to the doctors about this. Perhaps I should go make an appointment now. The next award is the Dumbest Moment of the Decade. Whew, where to start with Dumbest Moment of the Decade? Well, in the end I couldn't be bothered to look through all my videos for when I'd done something silly. I'd be here for years in that case. But there is one moment that sticks out in my mind for being pretty dumb, and it always makes me laugh. The winner of Dumbest Moment of the Decade goes to Captain Muckluck from my Sid Meier's Pirates livestream. Oh, trust me, I've definitely been stupider in other videos, point and clicks especially, but this one is just so silly and I love it. What have we actually got right now? I'm not quite sure what we actually own, so maybe we should check status. Right, status, the illustrious Oh crap. It puts Captain on there for you. Captain Muckluck. Oh, I didn't know it did that. There wasn't Captain on the when you put your name in there. Alright, well. We're not just Captain Muckluck. We're Captain Muckluck. Next up is Song of the Decade. I happened to be listening to Songs of the 2010s on Apple Music the other day for a bit of nostalgia, and that got me thinking as to what song would symbolise my channel and my content the best. And in the end, my Song of the Decade is very different, because it's actually from 1985. Yes, the winner is That's What Friends Are For by Dionne Warwick. Though I know it best as that annoying song that repeats on the Simpsons game level Grand Theft Scratchy. Ever since then, it's sort of become my theme song, and hey, for a song that's got such a nice message, is that really a bad thing? Yes, the answer is yes. Next up is the I'll Be Back of the Decade award. And no Arnold Schwarzenegger here. Instead, this award is aimed at a series or an idea I've had in the past that I'd like to bring back for the new decade. Yes, there's plenty to choose from. Rewind a few years ago and I had a fairly consistent streaming schedule that I'd like to return. Related to that was the Simpsons quizzes, which I'd set up to livestream, and I had great fun creating and hosting those. They'll return at some point, but overall, the winner has to be the James Bond review series. Yeah, I really dropped the ball on this. I started the project to review every Bond film way back in 2015, leading up to the release of Spectre, and though I had lots pre-recorded, I just couldn't keep up in making them. A rookie mistake, that's for sure. I'm currently up to the Daniel Craig era of films, and have always said that I'll continue making them when I get the Bond itch back. Well, this year marks the release of Craig's final Bond film, No Time to Die, and with every drop of new content, be it trailer or poster, I get more and more excited for it. Much like what they say at the end of the Bond films themselves, this review series will return. We're on the home straight for awards now. The next one is Highest Viewed Video of the Decade. Yes, it's a simple category with a winner that probably won't come as a surprise to many. My highest viewed video of the decade goes to Destroy All Humans Episode 1. Clocking in at 295,000 views, it's by far my most successful video, which is ironic since I had so many technical issues with that episode due to pesky capture card problems I had at the time. The video also got a boost with the announcement of the remake back in June last year, but weirdly, its biggest spike in views was on May the 5th, 2016. If anyone knows why that might be the case, please do let me know. And it won't be long before the game returns to my channel again when the remake is released sometime this year. Stay tuned for that. The penultimate award of the Muckies is the Pleasant Surprise of the Decade. Sometimes I play a game and it turns out pants. Sometimes I play a game and think, oh, that was pretty good actually. So my pleasant surprise of the decade goes to Back to the Future, the game. The point-and-click Telltale game released in 2010, which I Let's Played in 2016. I didn't have low expectations of the game, but I did know it was made before Telltale's huge success with The Walking Dead, so it might be a bit rough around the edges. And yet, thanks to input from Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox themselves, as well as an interesting plotline, I was pleasantly surprised by the game's quality. It truly felt like a Back to the Future Part 4. It didn't just rehash existing stories, but used the characters in different ways. Yeah, okay, the animation could be a little wonky at times, but the settings, the puzzles, and the voice acting were all top notch. If you haven't played it already, I highly recommend giving it a go. Or, watching my Let's Play, nudge nudge wink wink. We've reached the final award of the Muckies, and we're ending off with quite an accolade indeed. Achievement of the Decade. What have I achieved over the past 9 years? Reaching a certain number of views or subscribers? Perhaps. Collaborating and joining an online community in the JFS? Sure. But let's bring it down a level, make it something a bit more tangible, a bit more related to the main focus of my channel. Video games. My achievement of the decade goes to Let's Playing and completing every game in the Monkey Island series. Yes indeed, back in 2011 I probably didn't even know about the Monkey Island games at all. Fast forward to now and I've enjoyed playing every last one of them. Guybrush Threepwood's adventures have been a blast. Not only are the games full of hilarious dialogue and beautiful graphics, they feature damn good puzzles too. Though it doesn't look like the series has much of a future, I can safely say I've enjoyed playing through its past. And there you go, that is the end of the Muckies. I hope you enjoyed watching and finding out the winners. I had a lot of fun coming up with the categories, and although I'm sick as a dog right now, I hope it's come out okay. Alright, that's all the scripted stuff over. Let's just cut to a little bit at the end where I just do some thanks because, yeah, it wouldn't be an anniversary video without saying some thank yous and just a little roundup of the year. I am a bit sick, as you might be able to tell. I'm sorry if I sound a bit rough. But, yeah, 2019, a big year. Lots of stuff happened for me personally. Good and bad. Mainly good, though, I'd say. And let's just hope 2020 is going to be even better. I think 2020 is going to be a new chapter of my life, that's for sure. There's going to be some big changes, and you know, big changes for the better, I really hope. And yeah, I think that's going to come through maybe in the videos at some point. It's going to let me do new things, new types of videos, new content. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's the future. 2019, I hope you enjoyed all the series that came out. I haven't really got anything planned to say right now. So, yeah, you know, the series like Curse of Monkey Island and the Simpsons game and what else was there? Toonstruck, all that stuff. Thank you to everyone who sticks with me, watches my content, leaves nice comments, likes a video, all that good stuff. Joins a live stream I do. It all really does mean a lot. It makes it all so worthwhile. And I know I say this every year and I sound like a broken record, but I have to. I have to say it. I have to let you guys know that it really does mean so much to me. And it's really why I still do it after all these years. 9 years now. Next year will be a decade on YouTube, which is just insane. But we're not there yet. We have another year to go. And I really do hope it's going to be a fantastic year. Not just for me, but for all of you too. I know that videos have been a bit scarce recently, but I'm still in the process of moving and life stuff and all that, you know, all that jazz, and I know you will understand, but I will return with a proper full series soon, and videos should hopefully be a bit more regular in the near future. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Keep it short and sweet before I lose my voice completely. Thank you all very much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon for another one. Bye bye.